Painting isn't just about creating something visually stunning. It's about tapping into our emotions and channeling them onto a canvas. It's a form of release, a way to process our feelings and turn them into something tangible. I want to talk about how painting can be a powerful tool for coping with our darkest moments in this second episode of Panels to Paint. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. Mental health is something that affects us all. Anxiety, depression, or just the everyday stresses of life. It can be hard to know how to deal with these feelings and how to process them and move forward. For many of us, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of negativity, feeling like we're drowning in our emotions with no way out. We might try to talk to friends or family the way I do, but sometimes it's not enough. We need to find a way to release these feelings and to channel them into something positive, which is what I was attempting to do when I started this episode of Panels to Paint. I figured I would lose myself in my artwork, and at first, it really didn't help. My problems and what I was feeling, my emotions, didn't just go away. They kind of simmered beneath the surface and kind of haunted me during this drawing phase. And speaking of the drawing, I am looking at and using John Buscema's amazing artwork in this Silver Surfer Artisan Edition. I love how dynamic his work is. He draws beautiful women. He draws amazing looking heroes and villains. All of it. And as I looked for the right reference, this panel just kept calling to me. I kind of felt the way this dude looked. So it kind of called to me, and I've gone through the book several times from front to back. He's got amazing characters in here, but for whatever reason, for many reasons, this was the panel I chose. I didn't care to replicate it one for one. I kind of did not want to think, so I copied it as best as I could, and I didn't know how far I was going to go. I thought that this was going to be what I needed to do. So hit the camera, start drawing, and start inking it, trying to keep it as natural or as respective of his artwork, while really not thinking too much about it. And after finishing the drawing and inking it, it sat for a few days. Second to only being with my wife, drawing and painting is my happy place. When my spirits are high, I feel like I can paint anything, draw anything. Lately, her and I have been a bit overwhelmed, exhausted, and just feeling downright cloudy, to say the least. And we're both our support pillars. So you can imagine if you're down and your support pillar is down, we were down. My outlet, so to speak, was closed for business. But thank God, through prayer, my amazing wife, my amazing kids, some great friends, and people right here on the YouTube community reached out and helped me overcome with positive energy and the desire to get out from underneath these dark feelings and emotions. My problems are still there. My concerns for the future are still there. And there are things that will continue to affect me and us for quite some time. And that's where this painting comes in. It was a way for me to tap into those emotions, to let me process them in a healthy way. I removed any concern about the end results It was simply about letting go of my fears, my anxieties, my doubts. It was about embracing that dark moment I was going through so that I can bring myself into a place of peace and healing. So let's talk about the painting. Again, I'm using my Himi gouache, and what was really good that I can take out of this for this exercise is that the subject is in black and white. That artisan edition that I used for reference has no color, and I have no reference of what the colors are, if this guy's an alien or not. I didn't want to go into detail into finding it out. I just wanted to paint, and I wanted to see if I can recall the things that I have done in the past to do it. So I've used, as you can see, my flesh tone palette, which is basically the Zorn palette modified, but it's white, black, yellow, earth yellow, vermilion, burnt sienna, and burnt umber. Keeping myself honest to what this series was originally about, I wanted to make sure that these looked like comic book panels. I wanted to ensure that it was graphic and a lot of dark, bold blacks in the inking and in the shadows, the way it was represented in the comic book and in comic book form. The only thing that I wanted to add was my own sensibilities on the painting part. And it started to get fun again. I started to enjoy the process again. I wasn't thinking about anything else. The only thing that came to mind was for future pieces. I am definitely going to revisit this book and these references, and hopefully it'll be a actual Silver Surfer pose or dynamic panel that makes me want to paint it. As for the techniques that I've used for this one, I didn't go as watery on my first layers as I normally do. I wanted to be a little bit bolder early on, so less water, more pigment, and I think it worked for me. I really love the way the 5 o'clock shadow on his lip and his chin are prominent. I think there was a lot of cool things that happened here because of the way the layering, and then there was some stuff in here that didn't go as well because I was kind of like overthinking some of these features, kind of like the way I tried to add more red onto the nose and onto his knuckles. I've seen that in some artwork in the past, but I haven't really practiced it myself, and I thought I'd give it a shot here. That was kind of like the benefit of not having a color reference and just going through the motions and experimenting. And there he is. Thanks to the great John Buscema's Silver Surfer Artisan Edition, I present to you the man who's currently in charge of all of my angst. Thank you, buddy. If you're struggling with your own dark moments, I encourage you to give painting a try. It's not about being a good artist. It's not about being dishonest. It's about being honest, being raw, and being real. It's about releasing your emotions and channeling them into something that's beautiful, ugly, maybe even painful. But who knows? You might just find a sense of peace and a little bit of healing. Thank you for watching. If you've had similar experiences with painting, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my previous videos and my next one. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Mello, and as always, enjoy you later. Bye-bye.